Hello, BookTube. I went out. Bit of a book haul. We have a beautiful day here. It's cold, very cold, but um, bright blue skies, snow covered ground, so it's just a joy to be out. So we went out and did some things, and we stopped at the Listen thrift store on the way, and I did find a few things, a little out of the ordinary stuff for me lately, but which is always fun. We We'll start off with Elaine Pagels, and this is the Gnostic Gospels, a classic. In 1945, an Egyptian peasant unearthed what proved to be the Gnostic Gospels, the sacred books of one of the earliest Christian sects. This now classic landmark study draws on those texts to illuminate the world of the first Christians and examine the different ways in which both Gnostics and the Orthodox constructed God, Christ, and the Church. Did Jesus literally rise from the dead? Was there only one God, and could he be both father and mother? Whose versions of Christianity came down to us, and why did it prevail? Brilliant, provocative, and stunning in its implications, the Gnostic Gospels is a radical yet accessible reconsideration of the origins of the Christian faith. It's a book that's had a huge amount of influence. I've read her Beyond Belief, which is about the the secret gospel of Thomas, and I've read her Reading Judas, which is about the gospel of Judas. So similar things. So a lot of these gospels didn't become canonical, and nothing became canonical for a very long time. So very happy to find it. I've read it more than once, but I didn't have it in my library. I have her other ones, but not that one for some reason. Then this next one's one I've mentioned several times over the years. And this is by Theodora Krober. She is the mother, or was the mother, of Ursula K. Krober Le Guin, this science fiction, fantasy, and very literary writer. So this is Ishi, Last of His Tribe, a paperback. Wonderful story. This book sold many copies. Let's see, in the early 1900s, a small band of California Indians of the Yahi tribe resisted the fate that had all but wiped out their people, violent death at the hands of the invading white man. Throughout their ordeal and their final realization that they could survive only by becoming a hidden people, this tiny group held to the gentle moral and religious code of their ancestors. In time, one by one, the tribe died, until there remained only a single survivor, the man who became known as Ishi. So, this is, you got little line drawings throughout here. This book had a huge influence, and I'm glad to have a copy. It's one of those books I've always felt I should have a copy. So it may be still in print for all I know, but I haven't seen it in years. So I'm very glad to have it. So this next one is I just was fascinated reading the cover stuff when I picked it up. It's The Road from Kurain by Jill Kerr Conway, and here it is. And this is, let me see here. I didn't do this with the other ones, but 1989, and then in August 90 was a vintage book. A small masterpiece of scene, memory, and very stylish English. I've been several times to Australia. This book was most rewarding journey of all. That's John Kenneth Galbraith, a little blurb. This beautifully written narrative of Conway's journey from a girlhead on an isolated sheep farm in the grasslands of Australia to her departure for America and eventually the presidency of Smith College is both new and universal. If few of us have known an 8-year-old drought in New South Wales, many of us have felt the despair of an ambitious young woman facing a constrained female destiny. This book, an extraordinarily gripping and inspiring work, will take its place as one of the few heroic stories of girlhood. And that was by Carolyn Heilbrunn. Jill Conway is a noted historian specializing in the experience of women in America and was the first woman president of Smith College. So it just seemed like it might be a good read. I'm actually, if anybody knows this, let me know. I mean, it sounds really good. And the next one is one of those Black Spine Penguin Classics, immaculate condition, and a book I've meant to read for a long time and have not. That's Wilkie Collins' The Moonstone. The Moonstone, a yellow diamond looted from an Indian temple and believed to bring bad luck to its owner, is bequeathed to Rachel Veringer on her 18th birthday. That very night, the priceless stone is stolen again, and when Sergeant Cuff is brought in to investigate the crime, he soon realizes that no one in Rachel's household is above suspicion. Hailed by T.S. Eliot as the first, the longest, and the best of modern English detective novels, The Moonstone is marvelously taught an intricate tale of mystery in which facts and memory can prove treacherous, and not everyone is as they first appear. Has an introduction by Sandra Kemp, and so I'm looking for. I need to get to this, maybe Victober or something like that. I don't know. Then the next thing is one of these little travel pamphlet type things. If they're archaeology related, a lot of times I'll grab them. And this one is on Knossos. You see these things around quite a bit, and whenever I see them, I pick them up. Sometimes I find out I already have them. I have a good time looking through them, especially if they're places I haven't been and I have not been here. So, where does this... So they do these in multiple languages. This is Athens, Editions Hannibal, and they don't really give me a date on it. Then, this is Five Fingers, Fingers, I know I have five, but this doesn't say that. Fingers Pointing Toward the Sacred, a 20th century pilgrimage on the Eastern and Western Way by Frederick Frank. And again, this is one that I was just reading the copy of, and it just sounded fascinating to me. Let's see here. Page after page of blurbs. The guy has a list of books he's written right here. And let's see. That was my doorbell. I don't know if you could hear it. 1994 by Frederick Frank. And this is Beacon Point Press in Junction City, Oregon. As a lot of the authors own illustrations throughout. Take part in a fascinating spiritual travelogue around the world with renowned artist, sculptor, and author Frederick Frank as he visits Sri Lanka, India, the Himalayas, and Japan. Along the way, he relates events of the journey to memories of his life, tying past and present together with a series of flashbacks that add depth and richness to the narrative. Sit in on intimate, probing conversations with the 20th century's giants of faith he has met. Pope John the 23rd, the Dalai Lama, Albert Schweitzer, D.T. Suzuki, and many others. In his quest for a spirituality that can be found at the heart of all religions, he moved beyond the theological rhetoric to explore the deep spiritual resonance between Buddha nature and Christ consciousness. This book is a culmination of wisdom from a lifelong internal and external pilgrimage by the author of the classic book, The Zen of Seeing, including charming drawings which Frank sketched along the way. This is a road story in the tradition of the ancient legends of heroes on the path of self-discovery. For all 20th century pilgrims, Frank's fingers truly point the way toward the sacred. So it has blurbs by Robert Aiken, Harvey Cox, Matthew Fox, Thomas More, and Jacob Needleman. So I have not read it, and I'm actually really looking forward to it. And then the final one is on these DK books. I'll have to clean it up with a little alcohol pad or something, but it's Felipe Fernandez Armesto, and it's Ideas That Change the World. It's got a little ding back here, but it's pretty good shape for a buck. Let's see. Oh my goodness. 2003. So it has The Mind of the Hunter, 30,000 to 10,000 BC. Out of the Mud, 10,000 to 1,000 BC. Suspect Zarathustra, 1000 BC to 0 AD. Thinking Religions, 0 to 1400 AD. Back to the Future, 1400 to 1800. The Illusion of Progress, 1800 to 1900. And The Age of Uncertainty, 1900 to 2000. So that's that. Looks like it's heavily illustrated, a typical DK book. I tend to like these. And they can be very creative, so I'll have to see how it is. But glad to have it and give it a shot. So that, and I got a couple comic books, but I don't have them with me. And going to enjoy the rest of the day. My wife's out filling all the bird feeders as we speak. And it's going to get cold, and I think the beginning of the week and then later in the end of the week, we're 2 different snowstorms. So typical winter. Hope you're all doing well, and thank you, BookTube.